Hi boys and girls, happy Sabbath. Today Jonah and Elora and Chris Jetter are going to be helping me, I'm Miss Becky, with our Sabbath School lesson. Today, we're going to start with the craft. You were given a little bag that had pennies, and it had a little piece of paper that has our memory verse on it. God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians 9:7. You're going to take your pennies and look at your pennies, and if you look close, what do you see on the penny? What's something that's on that penny, Jonah? What's something that you see on there?
People.
You see a person's head. Elora, you see anything on there?
On this side it looks like a badge, but right here, yeah, it's Abraham Lincoln.
All right, well, you can choose one side of that penny, and you're going to put it underneath your paper down in your blank space. So down here in the blank space, you're going to put your penny underneath. Can you put your penny under your paper, Jonah? And then you're going to set it and hold it. See right here? This is where your penny is. Put your finger right on the penny. Elora, can you put your finger right on the penny? And now you're going to take a colored pencil, a crayon, or a lead pencil. They work really good. And what you're going to do is you are going to find that penny, put your fingers on either side just like this. Can you see, Chris? And Jonah and Elora, can everybody see? Yes? Put your fingers on either side of your penny, and then you're going to take your pencil, and you're going to just color right over it. Now, my pencil's a little too sharp. Get Elora's there. She's probably...
Mine's not working.
Turn yours to the side. Jonah, yours, are you on your penny? Here. What you're going to do, I'm just going to do this for an example, and then I'll let you finish, Jonah, okay? We're going to just go like this. See how the penny's starting to show up? You see it?
Yeah!
Okay, can you do that? You hold your finger, hold it nice and flat. Good, Elora. You can do it right beside. That's a good way to do it. There you go. Don't do it too hard. If you push too hard, it will fill in all the spaces. So here, let's do a second rubbing.
You know what?
That's good. That's good. Yeah, wait. Here. See? Turn it to the side and rub. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. You look at that rubbing. Okay? And what do you see on that? Do you see some of the same stuff you saw on the real coin? Okay, but is this a real coin? Can you take that to the store and buy something with it? Why not?
Because it's just a rubbing of this.
It's not worth any money, is it? It's worthless. Our Bible story today.
Working.
Our Bible story.
Oh, Jonah, it's okay.
Our Bible story today is going to be about a widow who had some money that she gave to Jesus that she thought was worthless. So she was kind of embarrassed to do it. She was worried it was worthless. But you know what? It's worth something to Jesus when you give it with a cheerful heart. Everything is worth it. We're going to learn today about the widow, and we're going to learn today about ways that we can give with a cheerful heart. Okay, boys and girls, Jonah and Elora want to show you a skit. In their skit, they're going to show you what it might look like to be a not cheerful giver. And they're also going to do a second skit that will show you what it looks like to be a cheerful giver. Right after the skits, you're going to get to watch a little cartoon that is the story of the widow and how she was a cheerful giver. And you can think back to the little skit that these two are going to do and remember how they might have looked like a cheerful or not cheerful giver.
Can I play? Here. Thanks.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Aunt Pernita, and I have a wonderful story for you called The Poor Widow's Offering. Today's memory verse is from 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7. It says, God loves a cheerful giver. The message for today's story is we worship God when we give cheerfully. Have you ever watched how people give their offerings in church? How do you think it happened in Jesus' time? Jesus was sitting with his disciples in the temple, watching people bring their offerings. In those days, people took their offerings to the temple court and dropped them into collection boxes. There were many rich people in Jerusalem. They lived in nice houses and wore fancy clothes. They also had plenty to eat. After they paid for their nice houses and fancy clothes and good food, they would take some of the money they had left to the temple for an offering. Dressed in their finest clothes, they would go to the temple when they knew a lot of people would be there. After looking around to make sure people were watching them, they would pour their money into the collection boxes. They liked it when their money made a lot of noise, and they liked it when people turned to see who had put so much money into the collection box. They hoped people were whispering, "Look, see how much offering that person brought? He certainly is generous." Jesus knew that those rich people brought only what was left over after they had purchased all the things they wanted. He knew that they had not given up a single thing. They had not gone hungry or done without fancy clothes. They had not sacrificed. Then Jesus noticed a woman at the collection box. He knew that her husband had died and that she was a widow. Many times she had no food to eat. The woman looked around to see if anyone was watching. She was very embarrassed because she could only bring a very tiny offering. When she thought no one would see her, she slipped 2 tiny coins into the collection box and hurried away. But Jesus had seen her. He had seen the 2 tiny coins she slipped into the offering box. Jesus said to his disciples, "This poor widow has put in more than all the others. She has given all that she has." All that she had, all of her money. As the widow heard Jesus' words, tears of joy filled her eyes. She had no money to buy bread for dinner, but she was happy to give an offering to God. Although her offering was tiny, she gave more than all the others because she gave it cheerfully and out of love for God.
This podcast was brought to you by Gracelink.net and Studio El Piso in Singapore. For more children's resources, please visit Gracelink.net.
Remember, boys and girls, that the widow gave the very last money she had. She didn't even have enough left over for dinner. But giving money isn't the only way that we can show God that we love Him. There are things that we can do right around the house that show God that we love Him. Let's do an activity. You're going to pull something out of the bag, and we'll show it to the boys and girls at home and see how we can share God's love. Show that we love God. Would you like to go first, Elora? What did you pull out of the bag?
Flowers.
Well, how does that show God's love? Or that we love God?
It's that we take care of nature.
Yes, God's creation. We want to take care of God's creation. Okay, Jonah, would you choose something in the bag to show how we can show God we love Him? Well, what's that?
A washcloth.
How can we show God we love Him with the washcloth?
So I clean all windows for anywhere.
You can clean windows and clean the furniture. That's right. You want to put it right here? Elora, let's find something else in our sack. Well, what's that?
Dog leash.
How can you show God you love him with a dog leash?
You can walk other people's dogs, like this one.
Take pets for a walk. That would be nice. Mila would like to go for a walk later on. All right, you want to put the leash right here? Jonah, let's do one more. Let's give one more example of how we can show God that we love him. What did you pull out?
A card.
A card. The card says a friend is a gift. What would you do with the card to show God you loved him?
To when we miss our friends or when they are sick.
Perfect. When we miss our friends or when they're sick in the hospital, we can send them a card. These are wonderful ways that we can show God that we love him.
Boys and girls, thank you for spending the Sabbath with us. We hope that you learned something about how we can show God's love and how we can do that by being loving towards other people. Now, Elora's going to end with prayer.
Dear Jesus, thank you for our food and all the stuff that we get from you, and help the coronavirus to stop. Help us find a way to tell other people about you. I love you. Amen.